Welcome back to the Maz Sack. This is episode 3. Today we are live on YouTube and Twitter, X, whatever it is this week. We are going to be discussing how we became about
how we became a thing.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
I think so.
Yeah, 2 guys that live half the country away, and we're homies.
For sure, like completely.
Yeah. So it all started on a mobile game called WWE Supercard. So that's why we talk wrestling in the first episode, and it's been 10 years or so.
You know what? I was trying to remember, and honestly, I would have to go back and look it up, and that's just not my vibe. But I think it was season 2. It may have been season 2. And like I have a memory, like a core memory, when it was either season 3 or season 4 was getting ready to drop, and we're fucking hanging out in my family and I were hanging out in the Mall of America, right? And I get like the information dump on like everything that's coming out for the new season, and I start texting with you, and I'm walking through the mall and I'm messaging, and we weren't even texting, I don't think. I think we were still just messaging on the game, which was even weirder, but we were messaging about all the season drop stuff. And once they introduced like teams and stuff like that, we rolled into a bunch of teams together, and that shit was wild, dude. I played that game so fucking much for a long time.
Yeah. I remember we were on a team. Matthew was the owner, and then I remember getting onto Titan tier, and I was like way far behind, and then I had to buy a pack to catch up and all that nonsense. Because you were like a dog back those days.
I was. That's, to be honest, that's when I was at my. That's definitely when I was at my peak. I mean, I played that game non-fucking stop. Actually, it kind of fucking brings me to something we were talking about off, like before we started, but I was going to bring up right away. I saw that PCC came back, which is the People's Choice Champion or whatever it was called. But that game mode was a season 1 game mode, and I'm pretty sure you were day 1, right? I know I was.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure you were day 1. So, like, been playing that game since day 1. That game mode was a nightmare. And you had to play early on before you got bouts or whatever matches. Fucking, you had to play that game non-fucking stop to be on the leaderboard to get the cards. It was nonstop. And like, I remember one of them, we had a family trip, and I had to make my wife drive the 4 hours there and back so I could play it in the fucking car.
Yeah.
I dogged out every event early on. I had season 1, like I had that Brock Lesnar season 1, like I had some of the best cards, like. And I stopped playing officially. I'll get this out of the way now. I stopped playing officially once they started selling the images from season 1 cards in the shop. Like once you could pay money to get the images, because like if you wanted your card, like if you were in later seasons, if you wanted it to look like a card you earned that like other people hadn't earned, you could do that. Like if you had it, once they started selling those, that's when I stopped playing completely. That's like when I never touched it again, deleted it, and it was gone. Because
that's probably the best thing ever.
Yeah. Like what the fuck am I playing for anymore? Like I had all the cool season 1 shit, so I like my card backs were season 1, and then once they started giving that shit away, if you spent money, I was like, get the fuck out of here, dude. I worked my ass off to get those.
Yeah, the money aspect just destroyed it. But we had so many great times.
Oh my God.
switching teams in the middle of the night so that we could get to another team so we could start another battleground and all that garbage.
Dude, once they started those, that's when we had everything. That's when we were like, what was it called when you would play through the event twice and get the the added flourish on the card?
The
Heroic. Yeah, we were doing heroics every fucking event. Like that's when we were like, woof.
Yeah. Much money spent.
Oh, dude, on bouts and shit. It's so
Mm-hmm.
funny to think of now because like I don't have a game that I'm like that anymore, like at all. Like everything I do when I game now, even on my phone, is like super casual or like calming. Like and
Right.
that game,
Yeah.
that game was infuriating.
Oh, so much time wasted. I figured I'd play like 30 hours a week at some points, and it was just way too much.
Yeah, but hey, we're here now, right? So it wasn't completely wasted, and like that's kind of why it's funny because we did that shit all in game, and it was a mobile game with a terrible chat feature and a terrible like friend like thing. It was terrible. And we finally were like, oh fuck it, we'll just start texting each other. I think didn't we get into a Discord together first?
Well, we made our own. Yeah, we made our own Discord. Yeah,
that's what we did. We made our own. Fuck, I forgot that. We left and took over and just created our own fucking team and did a Discord server and fuck, it went for a while too.
Yeah, it was just way too much to handle, dude.
Yeah, way too much. But yeah,
and then we started talking, and we lived in the same town, just different states,
basically.
Like, bananas. And we both grew up in Chicagoland
area. For all of those that are going to be assholes, I'm not afraid to say that. I grew up south of Chicagoland area, though.
I grew up in the west suburbs.
Wow. Yeah. So like then it turned into fucking sports, and I mean, you still follow the Cubs, so that's kind of cool. I know you're a Pirates fan, but you still follow the Cubs.
I follow everything.
That's fair. But honestly, thinking back to it, it was always wrestling, like because we were both in our adult super fan era, like where we looked back with nostalgia. We were, I was getting autographs from people, like going to cons to see the Bella Twins and shit like that. And just I was going to shows a lot at that time too. And wrestling is just that's that tie that fucking bonds.
Yeah. It's the thing that's so great about it is it's the adult Disney World, because you can actually act like a child while you watch it, discuss it, so it keeps you young.
Hell yeah, dude. I absolutely fuck yeah, wrestling. Like that's what it's all about. Like, I mean, and we're gonna cover wrestling a lot, like because it is something that we both enjoy generationally. Like we don't just enjoy the product now; we've enjoyed it for most of, if not all of our lives, and we've learned appreciation for eras that we didn't experience. Like we know the business a little bit, enjoy it to different depths, so we're going to analyze it quite a bit, but like we don't like this product right now. Well, actually, I'm gonna pump the brakes just a little bit because I don't know about you, but it kind of feels. I looked at my wife after watching the videos of the press conference, right? And I said to her, okay, The Rock is on the board. The Rock is on the board. The Rock is part of the XFL USFL merger. he's coming back on TV. There isn't a word that would come out of his mouth or an action that he would take that was not 100% pre-planned and pre-approved. They are going back to like an attitude type fucking era with
Yeah,
the Rock and Triple H at the fucking helm, just like it was then. They're gonna do it again, and they're in charge now. They're the ones making fucking decisions. So get ready. It's gonna be a fucking ride.
yeah. When I watched those videos, I said to you, man, they're really gearing up for Netflix next year, and it's going to get a little raunchy because you got them just dropping swear words left and right.
Yeah, I think Netflix has a huge part to play in that, because that's a different, it's a different style of entertainment. People expect a certain level. But yeah, we'll go into that. We'll go back to our story. That was one interjection I absolutely had to make, because again, we like wrestling.
Yeah, that's a fair assessment. We're also going to be talking a lot about all sports, basically.
Mm-hmm.
We both still follow the Cubs, obviously. One guy, not so much, but they shit on me too many times. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
we got football. We did our Super Bowl preview last week with Coach.
Oh yeah, that was awesome. By the way,
what a fantastic interview he gave. He's going to step by.
Steve.
He's going to step by. He'll be on again. There'll be other people that we're going to have on. We're going to talk about baseball. We're going to probably not talk too much about basketball, because who really cares about LeBron?
I mean, if you want to talk about basketball, we can talk about basketball. I personally just don't have much to say about it, and I have no intention of beginning to follow it in order to talk about it.
Yeah, I'm more on the college side. I don't really like that NBA stuff.
Yeah, well, that's probably for the better at this point. Again, yeah. I mean, because we don't have to talk about soccer. Occasionally I might want to, but we're probably not gonna.
We'll discuss some hockey. But
yes,
it's going to be probably a lot of wrestling and sports talk.
Yeah, wrestling and football and baseball and hockey. Yeah. To be honest, I think we'll talk more about hockey than we think, just because you're getting your knowledge on the current NHL, like the players in it, is way better than mine. I can go back a few years, but the current league, ever since the Hawks went on their run, I had such a hangover. And I think the organization has in general. That's another topic for another day too. I know we've, the potential of talking about what's wrong with Chicago sports. But I think the fan base had a hangover for a while, and we knew the team was going to be turning over so much that, I'll speak for me personally. I just stopped paying as much attention. It's just kind of how it happens. And then, you get Bedard and you're like, oh, here it goes. But, it wasn't Jonathan Taves getting drafted that made everybody turn in and say, we're ready to go. It was when they drafted Patrick Kane. So let's just wait. It's a hockey team, right? One guy can get you a long way. But one guy cannot win you anything close to a championship in the NHL. It's just not possible. The Hawks on their 3-cup run had 5, sometimes 7 guys that you would say they had to have to win that particular cup. And I know the Penguins were in the same boat too. It's and that's what hockey is. So Bedard is exciting, and he may be he may Connor McDavid looked pretty fucking good at the All-Star game doing he is is Bedard going to be better than him? Like, I know he was in juniors, but is he going to be better than him? Like,
no. I think it'll be like kind of a comparison of Sid and Ovechkin. Kind of,
yeah.
They're different types of players, so that
and honestly,
they need a compliment around them, and you see how you can go with that.
But with the Sid and Ovechkin thing, something that really bothers me about that, and I know my Hawks is gonna, my Hawks fandom is gonna bleed out of me a little bit here. Jonathan Toews was as much it kills me because the dude was Captain Serious, right? He was a boring dude. He didn't talk to the media. He was Captain Serious. That's who he was. And he just, I don't feel like he ever got the credit that he deserved for what he did for hockey and making the Hawks as relevant as he did. Because there were stretches where when I watched the Hawks or listened to them play every game of an entire season for a couple of years in a row. And there were moments where we wanted Patrick Kane traded. Mm-hmm. Like, there were a few times where real fans wanted Patrick Kane traded. Now, obviously, by the end of his career, that would have been a mistake. And I admit that as a fan, but for times. Now, Johnny, he was that team. So Jonathan Toews, if you ever hear this, I fucking love you, dude. You're amazing.
I actually worked for the Penguins. Well, not the Penguins, but I worked in the same arena. And that draft, when the Penguins took Jordan Staal, I told the GM to take Jonathan Toews.
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
No, seriously. When they were leaving for the draft, I said, don't take Staal, take Toews.
Oh, well, Jordan Staal was no slouch either. But
he's not Johnny.
No, but could you have, okay. You can't have Sidney and Jonathan Toews.
Right. Yeah. That's right. Where they made the right decision, but
Canada did it. Team Canada did it. And last I checked, they won a couple gold medals in different competitions with those two. So, and it wasn't just those two. Obviously, Team Canada is fucking beefed. I get it. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what makes a great debate.
Hey, I got a great debate for you.
Oh, do you?
No, not really. It'd be way too quick and to the point.
Yeah, there's a lot of things in life like that, though.
Where were we?
We were discussing the Blackhawks.
No, okay, so Supercard has pretty much fizzled out. We're both still playing it, but we're chatting more, getting to know more about each other. In real life, what we do, about each other's work and families and shit. I'd say we both have working situations that are less than ideal.
Yeah, that's a fair assessment. But we both have houses that we're in, so everything is okay with that.
I don't think it was like that when we first we're talking though. Like when we first met and when we were first developing, getting to know each other. I don't think we were as I don't think our situations work-wise were what they are today. So what was that? Where are we now time-wise? 2012, 2014?
Probably 2016, probably.
Okay, 2016. Yeah, there's just been a lot of drop off in the last couple years, I think, and a change in both of our attitudes as far as like how we want to handle life in general.
Yeah,
Right?
we're both kind of, we want to do it for ourselves.
Exactly. And so like I'd say that drove our connection even fucking deeper into the ground, because we have a similar aspiration. No, that's when you can't breathe, right? I don't know. Whatever. You know what I'm saying though. Like we both kind of want the same thing, like for ourselves, right? So yeah.
So that's where we are. We also, we're watching a bunch of TV shows, the same shows that we didn't even know that we were both watching
I know.
at the same time.
Fuck yeah.
We were watching Friday Night Lights, and then you would give me a movie recommendation, and I would be like, "Oh my god, that's the worst movie I've ever seen."
Dude, okay, wait a minute. So Friday Night Lights, that tripped me the fuck out. That tripped me the fuck out. And how it's still like a thing with us, it's awesome to me, because like at the time, wifey and I thought we were the only people in the world that even knew that show existed. And I mean, I've watched it all the way through like multiple times at this point, like just knowing the shit, because I love the characters. It's written so great. Fuck, man, I could talk about that shit all goddamn day.
Yeah, absolutely. The character development, you're going from school to school. Oh, it's just perfect.
It really is. And the worst movie ever so you and I, when it comes to movies, seem to have a couple common grounds. Like we both dig, 80s action movies and shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Outside of that, our movie tastes are a little different.
Yeah. What is the Patrick Bateman movie? American Psycho.
American Psycho?
Oh, you love it. I hate it.
It's a masterpiece, dude.
Yeah, I would have to.
And it's a fucking amazing book. If you've never read the book, I highly recommend reading the book.
I don't have time to read, man.
Audible. Not sponsor. No, not a sponsor moment, but Audible. Hey, I love you. If you want to shout us out, or not shout us out, but hook us up. I love free credits. Do we listen? I've been doing that a lot. Dude. Like I'll because I like to play. Right now, we were talking about gaming, right? About like doing chill stuff. Right now, what I like to do is just take a drive on F1, because they put out on Game Pass finally. So like it's kind of difficult because you're going fast and shit. But instead of like not doing anything, we're listening to books. So we like I'll be driving on my TV. The wife will be playing solitaire on her phone, and we're listening. Right now, we're listening to Fire and Blood, the Targaryen story from Game of Thrones. Like it's written like a history book. It's fucking awesome.
Okay, I never saw the show. You know how that goes.
The show is only a couple of chapters. Like it's in the middle of the book. So the part from the show is like dead center in the middle of the book, and it's like 5 chapters. And
so does that go along with that whole dragon show that's on now or whatever?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That show is like they're like, the show starts in like 100 and some years or something like that. I'd have to go back and watch. I don't remember the first episodes because I know they move time forward very quickly in that show. But the story, in the new season's going to be awesome. I'm telling you, because I know what happens like next. Because like I said, it's chapters, and they only did a couple of the chapters in the first season. The second season's going to be fucking badass. Like I'm actually gonna, I might take time just to record what I think about that fucking show, to be honest, like, because it's going to be cool. And HBO has proven that they can fucking do it. So
Yeah, their budgets and their sets and everything are phenomenal. It's not TV, it's HBO.
they have us trained, man, like Pavlov's fucking dog. Like, like you hear the HBO, like the what's it called, the static, you know, from like old TVs, and you're just like, oh yeah, this is gonna be good.
They don't really ever go wrong, man. Entourage, Sopranos, The Wire.
Yes.
Oh, they have so
Boardwalk
many bangers.
Empire. Boardwalk
I still
Empire is
haven't
fucking
seen
amazing.
it. My other buddy always tells me to watch it too. I never have.
Yeah, it's a great show. I think I mentioned this last time, like, to you, that I don't think that Steve Buscemi was capable of keeping the audience they wanted for that show, but it was still just so well done that it's a great show. Highly recommend it. Deadwood is also one of my favorites that HBO ever did. And I know for a fact you haven't watched Gilded Age, but you and the wife should watch Gilded Age.
What's that about?
It's about the Gilded Age.
Spot on.
It's about really, really rich people in New York City in like the late 1800s. So it's like old money families, you know, from like England and France and stuff. But like it's very cool, and it's kind of in the fashion of like I never watched Downton Abbey, so I don't know that show. I never watched it, but it was such a cultural phenomenon that other shows that I did watch, like How I Met Your Mother, made fun of it. So I know the structure. Like they followed the wealthy families, but they also followed like the workers, right? The butlers and the stuff like that. And this show is set up like that, but it's in New York City at the turn of the century. Like at the end of the last season, they opened up the bridge, the Brooklyn Bridge, and it was like fucking like it was just really cool to see it on a show play out like something historically like that. It was just really cool. It's a cool show, really well done. HBO quality, so everything's shot really great, and the sound and the music is fantastic. And the pace is just like it never stops. Like you start and go.
I like a show like that with just major character development.
Oh God, yeah, tons of it, dude. Yeah. Tons of it. Like really good character development too. Like really, like top tier characters. You know, good actors too. It's a highly recommend. And the woman Carrie Coon, that is the lead in that, is also the lead in a show on HBO called The Leftovers, which if you've never seen that, I recommend that too.
Yeah, never.
See, dude, you need to put some time in on HBO. Your HBO is feeling extremely neglected right now. You really need to show it some love.
My poor Max subscription that I never watch.
Yeah. Fuck, dude, you're wasting it, man.
I watched like Hung. I loved Lucky Louie for the season or two that was on. I love in Lucky Louie, she was his wife, and then she was on Californication as Mrs. Charlie Runkle.
The Smurf. Cokie Smurf.
With the black hair. She's a little firecracker, man.
Oh, I love her, dude. Californication is fucking great.
Oh man, Runks. Oh, I can't get enough of old Charlie Runkle. And Hank Moody just banging everyone in sight.
Yeah, dude. Oh. David Duchovny absolutely slayed me in that show. Oh, it was so good. So good. And I'm an X-Files nerd. Like I watched X-Files religiously when I was younger. So like I loved him already, but him in that show, he's just perfect. Absolutely perfect.
Yeah, that's probably the best show on Showtime, I think.
Like ever.
It is for me, that's for sure.
Fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
Then there's a bunch of movies. Did you ever watch The League?
Yeah, I love The League.
Yeah, that was a
Yeah.
great one too.
No, I still, The League is on like one of my rotations that I have for like my relax time shows, like my old favorites when I don't want to go looking for shit. It's or when I want to go to sleep and like I know I can fall asleep to it because it's stuff that I've already heard and enjoyed. So it's The League, Scrubs, How I Met Your Mother, and Family Guy, and 2.5 Men. And right now I'm on 2.5 Men. That's like my rotation.
Yeah, I never got into most of those shows, but we watched How I Met Your Mother. Anything with Jason Segel is like tremendous.
Absolutely fucking agree, dude. We've been doing Judd Apatow movies again. Like we're going back and watching, like we just watched Knocked Up the other day. Oh my god, that movie is so fucking funny.
If I ever impregnate my wife, that will be the birth announcement. It will be her face on a Knocked Up.
Fuck yeah, I like that. That's pretty fucking. I mean, that's pretty fucking cute, dude. I'd love to see it.
Yeah, well, yeah, me too.
We fucking we watched 40-Year-Old Virgin last night, and I gotta be honest. Even as I like turned it on, I'm like, I know I'm gonna love this movie again. Like it's never gonna not be funny. And I still can't believe how much that movie makes me fucking laugh my ass off. Just laugh my ass off.
It's like 25 years old too, isn't it?
Yeah. And it's funny as shit when they're waxing his chest.
Jesus, Mary, and Joseph.
I fucking hate you. Oh, nipple fuck. Like, oh, dude, and but yeah, those movies and Jason Segel, you know, he got his whole thing off of those two things, right? I mean, actually, for me, that all started in Freaks and Geeks. If you've never watched the show Freaks and Geeks, check it out. Like, it's Jason Segel, Seth Rogen, James Franco, and then the girl, what's her name? I cannot remember her name, but she's in Grandma's Boy, which is like one of my favorite comedic movies of all time. I watch it all the time. Basically have that movie memorized.
That dude sucking on Grandma's tit. I'll never get over it. My God.
Jonah Hill, dude. That's Jonah fucking Hill doing that. Like, that's Jonah fucking Hill doing that for real.
Oh, that's such a good movie. It's like just the standard stoner movie, but it's funny. Not like Pineapple Express. I didn't think was that funny, but Grandma's Boy. Oh my God.
So Pineapple Express has always been a weird one to me. Like, I don't want to go into like conspiracy theory shit right now, but I'm just gonna say, like, that movie feel like it never felt funny. And like to this, I mean, I've watched it multiple times to try and, but like, it felt very like, I don't know. It feels very written by a government fucking agent or some sort. Like it just doesn't have the feel to me of something good. And then like, This Is the End. That movie is so fucking great, where it's all those guys, Jonah Hill, you know, Seth Rogen, James Franco, and the one that's my favorite, to be completely honest, which is Jay Baruchel. Fucking love Jay Baruchel.
She's Out of My League. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dude, that movie is fucking amazing. Underrated as hell.
So that I was at the arena, working at the arena when they filmed it.
For real? The Penguins game that they go to?
Yes, but there was another
Nice.
scene. They did that bar scene there, but the bartender wasn't there for the second day of filming, so they just did it somewhere else. But then they did the yield intermission part. They did that. It was like on opening day. I was sitting there. I just sat there all night till like 4 a.m, and I watched baseball and just fell asleep because all that concession stuff was from us. Yeah.
Nice, dude. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. And they fed us dinner. It was pretty cool.
Oh, that is pretty fucking cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they fucking that movie. Like I said, I think that movie's super fucking underrated. Super underrated. But Jay Baruchel in This Is the End with those guys, like, I mean, and he's fucking hilarious and knocked up too when he convinces himself to go into the birthing room
and she's crowning. He's like, I should not have seen what I just saw.
Yeah, but yeah, that shit cracks me up. Like that's definitely my vibe, man. That like so we've been getting back into those, like, just for entertainment purposes, you know.
Those movies are always funny to me because he always seems to sneak his wife in. That Leslie man.
Yeah. She's actually great though. Like that, we were talking about that. You know, there are directors that do that shit. You know, Kevin Smith is my other like prime example. And like to me, and this is not shitting on Kevin Smith because I fucking love Kevin Smith movies. I always have. I just don't ever think that his wife fits where he puts her. Like she just doesn't work in the places where he's put her. But that's okay because he's the one directing the movie and writing the fucking parts and making the movie like completely on his own. So he gets to do whatever the fuck he wants. And I say the same thing about Rob Zombie too, except the difference is if I say anything negative about Sherry Moon Zombie, my wife will hear me from upstairs and come down here and beat the shit out of me. There you go. Yeah, she worships, like, Sherry is like her spirit goddess. Like she loves that woman.
Yeah. When he put her with the girls that were stealing the diamonds, it was just like so forced.
Mm-hmm. And in Clerks too, they could have found somebody, like, he should have put somebody better in that role, but that's okay. It's still a great movie. I mean, I still love it. So, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, and Jane and Silent Bob just.
Yeah. She's in there. Who was that? It was Ali Larder.
Mm-hmm.
Is that her name? And Dushku. Yeah, she just
Eliza.
Yeah. Oh man, the boners I had for her back in that day.
Yeah. I mean,
the new guy when she just tried on the bathing suits.
Another just, dude. We're talking. Okay, so we're showing our age a little bit. So that's another thing about this, right? Like we're coming to this pretty late in life, right? Like at least based on the internet and where it's at. But why the fuck not? Like at this point, that, like, talking earlier about how we're looking to do things differently for our families and to move things forward in a different manner and stuff like that. Like this is the way to fucking do it, right? So this is what we're gonna do.
Yeah, and we're gonna have a heck of a lot of fun doing it.
Hell yeah, dude. Like in the end, we're just sitting here fucking talking to each other, right?
Right. And that's what it's all about.
Fucking
bros talking.
Dude, basic white boys.
It don't get any more basic, unlabeled hoodie and sweatpants is what I'm wearing.
Mine's custom made. Fucking, I had to put in a big fucking order for this, and I had to buy the hoodie and fucking mail it to the guy before. This is Fulio, My Vintage Life 1904 on Whatnot and Instagram.
I think this is Costco Eddie Bauer, 1999.
Yeah. Hey, that shit holds up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. Like, so we got a Costco by us. Do you have a Costco by you?
It's like 35 minutes away.
Okay. So that's how it used to be for us. We used to have to go 35 minutes. And now they built one that opened last year that is like 5 minutes. Like it's just outside the edge of my town, right? And
So
it was so exciting at first, man. Like we went a lot because it was easy. And that place, like Costco, is kind of scary to me, man. Okay, good.
Everything's $20. You can't
Yeah.
get out of there with $200 to $300.
Oh God,
Uh,
no.
I'm not a big Costco food guy. I find Sam's is where I get more of the food, but Costco has like the home stuff, the bowls, the
Mm-hmm.
cutting boards, that kind of
Mm-hmm.
stuff is where Costco shines. And then speaking of Costco, this week, 4 of the items that we bought in the last month have been on product recalls for Listeria.
Holy fuck, dude.
You know those chicken tacos? The street
Yeah.
tacos?
Yeah.
Product recall, buddy.
Oh, I'm
This
so
week.
glad. Dude, I'm so glad I didn't get. Yeah, I love those things though. We get them every once in a
Right.
while, but like, yeah, okay. I mean, that shit's scary too. The last couple times I've gone, the thing that I have found to be kind of unnerving, and maybe I'm the only one experiencing this, is that like the employees like are just like the most joyless, like forceful people. Like they just seem at the edge of misery and company, you know? Like
That's just at yours. My people
okay.
are always cool.
Okay,
I
cool.
there's a guy that works at mine that I used to work with at the arena. He's great. I stop and talk to him every now and again. Have a great experience.
There you
Uh,
go. See?
if there is a deal at Costco going on right now, $8 off of the boneless pork shoulder. If you need to make some pulled pork soon, that expires tomorrow.
I always need to make pulled pork. Dude, I have a
But
couple of them in the freezer right now.
well, these are fresh. If you needed to make it for tomorrow,
Hey, there you go.
yeah,
For tomorrow.
yeah. What are your Super Bowl snacks?
Oh shit. Well, okay. I love fucking taking not using the little cocktail wieners, but taking like actual full size like beef hot dogs, right? And cutting them in half and rolling them in croissants with like a slice of cheese in it and just
The
throwing them
crescent
in the
roll.
yeah. Crescent roll, that's right, not croissant, crescent roll.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big one. I love those. Connie makes and she used to do this when we would go to parties and stuff too. She makes these wontons that are like now they're at restaurants and stuff, but she's done them since I met her, and like they're fried with like the cream cheese and the jalapenos in them and stuff. I love those. Those I don't know if I'll have those tomorrow because we don't have the ship for it. Tomorrow I'm probably just gonna have some chips and salsa and just real boring homemade salsa though, so that'll be fucking amazing.
You got to smoke that salsa, buddy.
Oh fuck that, dude. Oh man, I went on a hardcore like smoking meat. Clip that shit. Like like for a couple of years, man, I smoked everything. Like I like beef, pork, chicken, fish, um, cheese, fucking
The cold smoke of the
vegetables.
cheese. Yeah.
Yeah, like I did all types of shit like that. And then all of a sudden my smoker just kind of like I just used it to the point of failure because I bought a fairly cheap one. And I have no intention of replacing it right now because I don't really want to put forth that effort anymore. It was good, yes. Did I have a different palate for a while from eating that food? Yes. can 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 I prepare food a different way and still have just as lovely of as a meal and not take 12 fucking hours to do it? Absolutely.
You tell him.
Come for me. I don't give a shit.
So tomorrow we are going to have a second Detroit that we made. We made 2 tonight. I sent you those photos.
Oh my god, dude, that looked fucking delicious.
I got the recipe on YouTube. It costs less than $10 to make,
Okay.
and I'll send it over to you if you'd like.
Thank you. I would love that. Thank you for sharing recipes with me. God damn.
See, we do it all here, folks. This is why you need to stay tuned and watch.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in the end, when it boils down to it, we're just going to be a couple of old dudes shooting the shit and, like sharing an experience, like, and talking about cool shit. So,
Yeah, that's what it's all about, and just having fun.
all right.
Because you need to wake up in the morning and enjoy life.
That's a pretty big fucking key.
Yeah. There is nothing good comes from being all uptight all the time.
Heart problems. Not that those are good. Those are bad. You don't want those.
And bad bowels. You don't want to be pooping all the time.
Trust me. God damn it, dude. There you go. Talk about that. How many years of high stress, high production, and fucking just turned me into a fucking gut mess. And now I'm going to spend the next 10 years of my life trying to fix it so I can, deal with the next 20 years of my life, God willing.
While we're on this whole age thing, if you young kids are watching, you get the old colonoscopy. That's good for you.
No. Not yet. I mean, fuck. Never mind. Okay. I want to ask you though. I want to get on something. So we're doing this, right? But what are you doing right now? What are you doing on the side right now that you're building up?
So I have a YouTube channel myself, Mike Rips, very original name. Right now I have hockey card openings. I have food reviews, and I'm fat, so you know that you should trust my opinion on things with food. And tomorrow, I'm going to start doing movies on my channel as well. Movie hauls, movie reviews, those kind of things. Like your standard, but all in one. I know it probably doesn't help the algorithm, but there's more to me than just one topic.
100%. Fuck yeah, dude. And there should be. There fucking should be. Plus, I know this firsthand. Your movie hauls are fucking sick. Like, I like you shop for movies, and I know you also have your back end on that, what you do with them and stuff. But dude, you get cool movies. I used to get cool movies, but you get cool fucking movies.
Yeah, my video tomorrow is going to be the Arrow Video 50% off sale. And the haul I got from that was 11 movies. So it hopefully will be a banger. I'll be excited. I'll be joyous to hold them up on screen and show off my little collection. Because that's what it's all about at the end of the day, is bragging on what you get materialistically.
There you go. Hey now. Don't touch too close to nerves. And
that's
then
not all I wanted to touch. But we're just going to be having fun here. That's what it's all about. I also, hopefully, also, if there's like a pay-per-view or a premium live event, you can check out my short videos on immediate match reviews. I am way better than Uncle David Meltzer, and I'm very unbiased.
Ooh, that felt like a direct shot. You got some words for Uncle David?
Yeah, I do. You blocked me because I said that the Miz outdrew Kenny Omega, Uncle Dave.
Did he really block you for that?
He did. That's what he blocked me for.
Oh, well, I mean, it's not the first time you've come after him. I'm pretty sure he knows who you are at this point.
Yeah. I'm a big boy. And I
You've
don't
poked,
wear
you've poked at him for
Zubaz and
years.
Jordache jeans.
Oh
But
my God.
realistically, I hope everything is okay with Dave because right now he's on the verge of a mental breakdown, it seems.
Oh, do you just mean with his analysis, or is there other shit going on?
Just the whole AEW
Yeah.
fiasco and
Yeah.
the punk shaming.
Yeah, the punk shaming is weird. I don't get it, but I'm not there. I I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that you have taken shots at him for years, but it is funny that is finally what got you blocked from Uncle Dave.
Yeah. You can't talk bad about Kenny and his drawing power, apparently.
What drawing power?
The problem exactly.
No, I mean honestly, like I'm not. I was never the biggest fan of his when he was working in Japan, but he was always working with Okada.
Right.
Like,
like
you
those
can't.
matches they're fantastic.
Oh yeah, but you can't not watch them. But it's not.
Right.
I'm not watching it. I mean, technically speaking, I guess at the time I was probably watching it because Kenny Omega was on, because that's why we were getting it on TV, and not just Kenny Omega, but the Bucks were there, and Jericho was there, Cody was there. So like, it was they were getting it on TV at that time. But I mean, in the end, I came away. I didn't come away a Kenny Omega fan. I definitely didn't come away a Bucks fan. I hated them, and I still, Jr. Good old Jim Ross. They if he's famously said if he could buy them for what they're worth and sell them for what they think they're worth, he'd be set for life, because that's and Jericho, I liked Jericho less in Japan than I ever liked him in WWE, because I thought he ended great with WWE. He had some great runs, beating up on Shawn and stuff like that, like fantastic shit.
The Book of Jericho was great.
Absolutely. Oh, what's up?
You know who that is?
Yeah, I do. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Jericho fucking, like, even him, I lost. But Cody built, and we're seeing it today, what Cody did for himself. And I was a fan of at least two Japanese wrestlers in a way that I didn't know much about them before, and I became really huge fans of them after that. So
yeah, the whole thing, like, Dave was bragging. I think the topic was, who would you rather have, Kenny or the Junkyard Dog? And the Junkyard Dog drew so much money in Mid-South, blah, blah, blah. And then somebody got into, Dave posted about how Kenny drew $4 million at the Tokyo Dome. But the Miz drew like $6.5 million at the Georgia Dome. Mm-hmm. So that is the entirety of Heat.
And to be fair, both of the only argument you can make against that is the same argument that you can make against Kenny Omega at that number, right? So it wasn't Miz that drew it. It was Cena, mm-hmm. or whatever.
And The Rock. The Rock was the host.
Oh yeah, yeah. There you go. Yeah, but I mean, Okada. Like, what are you gonna say?
Right.
Like,
that's why it's such a stupid topic.
Yeah, I like that man. It like, and I think we kind of saw this with Shinsuke a little bit too. Like, there has never been anything that Shinsuke can actually do to really highlight his quality, because he's just not going to get the spot, because it's not Japanese viewing, it's American viewing, right? And it just doesn't work. But the way that they operate, like the way they are in Japan, those guys at the top of the Japanese, like of New Japan Pro, were so fucking much better than any person wrestling in an American thing, in my opinion. Like just so much better, so much better. And like to watch their match, to see what they're doing, the way they use time, the way they use everything. They just have a completely different pacing, and it's much more fun to watch, in my opinion.
And then the American style is the long promo, and
Yeah,
they can't do that here. So that's the issue.
none of them can. I mean, they've tried to turn Asuka's whole career into one long promo, and to an extent, it's kind of worked because Asuka can pull it off, but or could. I don't know if she's operating at her peak level right now. She's still pretty great, but like, I mean, she pulled it off because of how good she was, and she dominated everybody. But Shinsuke and NXT did the same thing. He pulled it off for a long time too. But then when he got on the main roster, you're not, you can't do what Roman Reigns has done with Shinsuke Nakamura. Like
No,
it just isn't going to work. Could
no,
he
and
put
then
on high level matches? Absolutely. But
and then when you get to the main roster, it's the whole music thing. When the music gets over more than the talent,
they change it,
they change it. So
and they blow it out of the water, and it sucks. Sucks. And it's, Randy Orton. I don't see. I that's the thing about wrestling. Just to come back to the whole, this is how we're going to end up talking about wrestling all the fucking time. That's the thing about wrestling. I think about the music. I get pissed off about the changing of fucking theme songs.
mm-hmm.
Like
that's the selling point of the package. So
I've been a mark for way too long. I'm never gonna I'm gonna go to my grave being an absolute mark.
I remember my first time watching wrestling. I was like 3 or 4, and my uncle had World Class on, and I thought it was the greatest thing because Kevin Von Erich had no boots on, and he was like Superfly Snuka. So I thought those were the greatest things ever, and it's
Talk
just
about a movie, an upcoming movie to do a review on or talk about. Iron Claw looks like it's going to be amazing, man.
I never got to see it at the theater. Just timing with work schedules on the weekends, I never got there. And man, once that drops in 4K or Blu-ray or whatever, I'd probably go on for a day and a half about it.
To be honest, I don't even know if it ever hit my theater. Like, I mean, I'm sure it did for maybe a weekend or whatever, but it wasn't like they didn't get a super huge run. Like it's a more like but it's like it's a festival movie, like they're gonna be
like an indie kind of artsy thing.
Yeah, but it looks fucking amazing, and I'm pumped to hear, because I know the stories, and I don't know all the stories. That wasn't my area. I was WWF at the very beginning, and it's all I knew until WCW came around, and I didn't really care for it, so I never learned about the old territories of it and stuff like that. But
that's the other thing with growing older and you still loving a product. You're not being happy with the current product, so instead of sitting there and wasting your time watching that, you go back and watch other stuff. So when I wasn't watching the newer WWE, I was watching World Class or Mid South. Like Mid South 1983. Oh man, that's some good stuff.
I was 1 year old.
Yeah, so was I. But I didn't watch it then. I watched it later in life.
Right. Oh my god, dude. Hey, remember when the network was brand new?
Yeah. I remember getting it that day and sitting there for an hour trying to get through the first episode of World Class and it not working. And
I think I went through and watched that whole library in that first year, or at least everything in the library that I intended on watching, you know. And then once they started adding all the like created content, I was like, and then it changed into a channel and everything else. But um, yeah, once I got through the library in that first year, second year, I was like, this is only for the live events now. And you know,
That's the issue with it. There's too much content, so you don't know what to watch.
mm-hmm.
You get they dropped way too much way too soon. But are they going to do that on? Is it everything going to go over to Netflix and leave Peacock? Like that's
No,
one of the.
no. Netflix is raw only. It is just raw.
Oh,
Yeah, the Netflix deal is raw only.
well, that's a lot of money for one TV show.
Yeah,
Good for
yeah.
them.
But I guess it's gonna be like they're pushing to live content. You know, like they're gonna because they still intend on doing it as like a live TV show. From the way it was explained.
So it'll be still like Monday at 8 o'clock or whatever, and then
So I don't know about that. So Khan was on um, with Pat McAfee that day when they signed the deal and announced it and everything. And they asked him about Monday nights and having it at the same time slot and everything. And he kind of like he wasn't very firm on it. Like he talked about Monday Night Football and he talked about um, other things being on Monday nights and stuff. Like he just kind of like I think they might be open to moving it, but I have a feeling that once they get to a certain stage and they turn over control, because Netflix has to have a certain amount of like I don't know. They have to have production people involved and stuff to make some decisions, right? So I have to assume that there are going to be some changes that, you know,
clean slate. No mention of Vince on
yeah,
Netflix, and they won't upload old Raw.
there you go. Yeah.
Thank you, AWS, you star.
Yeah. Appreciate that. And I mean, it makes sense. Don't you think? Like, I mean, like you gotta, and we talked about that on the first episode, they need to get the distance from that as quietly as possible and as subtly as possible so they can just do it with no conversation.
And
And
that'll probably make the live product going to an actual Raw much better because you're
mhm,
not going to have the people sitting, like there was a video of Randy Orton standing outside of the ring for 3 minutes because his music hit during a commercial break or whatever, and it just the dumb stuff like that. So that would probably make that product better.
I really hope so. But Netflix is going to a commercial free versus commercial subscription where they're going to start putting in ads on their shit. So you might not get that. You might not get the commercial free programming. Like you might not have a choice because it's live TV. They might have to put in commercial breaks. So
That's the worst thing ever. Just like how Amazon Prime. Did you see this?
oh yeah, Amazon
Not
Prime. I got my thing too, man.
That's the whole no ads thing. Oh, just you're already paying for the subscription. Now you got
Mm-hmm.
to pay with no ads.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everybody's doing it. Fuck. I mean, Hulu was the first, right? Like that I remember. Like Hulu was the one that the very first time I ever got a Hulu membership, I bought the one without ads. Like there wasn't no ads versus an ads option. But Hulu was based on TV episodes. Like it wasn't trying to be at that time, they weren't making their own shows. They were just, you would watch shows from the night before on Hulu that you didn't watch, or TiVo, or if you didn't want cable or whatever. And so there was like that natural commercial break. So it made sense. But now it's like you have to have ads back in everything, or you have to pay to not watch the ads, which I'm sure the ad people get a cut of that too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like right now, we watch a lot of shows on Paramount Plus,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't have ads, so you watch your hour and a half episode in hour and 2 minutes or whatever it is. So much better.
You know,
So
I went back and watched was it 1923? Is that what it's called? Is that the one? Have you watched any of those, the Yellowstone shows, like the whole
no,
okay.
people love them though.
Yeah, yeah. So I went back and watched the one that's got Indiana Jones in it with uh Dame Helen Mirren.
She's
And
good.
dude, that show is fucking great. Like Paramount Plus hit a home run with their show developers and stuff. They really did. Um, but yeah, I liked that one. It's pretty good. It's
Yeah,
pretty good.
we watch like the Amazing Race on there and just like binge it all at once. Um, but
Big Brother.
oh, that's my show. One day you'll see me on there. I'll be just laying in bed with my CPAP on, and nobody else will do that.
I remember there was one time, dude, where I think you like sent me a link for the show or whatever to watch it,
They
and
were
I
all
was
naked.
yeah, I was just like, dude, I'm not watching Big Brother, bro. Like it's not happening. It's not happening.
But you would watch if I was on Big Brother.
Oh fuck yeah, dude. The only okay, so reality TV has never been like my thing. Ever, ever, ever. I can name very few reality based shows, like, and one of them is Ink Master, because it was about tattoos. So I don't even consider that because they were doing tattoos, okay? I cared about the tattoos. But the only times I've really ever gotten into it was like I watched Dancing with the Stars when Chuck Liddell was on it, right? Like not Paige Van Zant, but Chuck Liddell. I, I watched one or two episodes of a show on one of the like Bravo or E or something like that, where they tried to get people to get engaged, like, and live in a house together, like, yeah, and because my stepsister was on it, so like I watched it because she was on it. So if you were ever on Big Brother, I would watch it to support you, not to support the show, but to support you.
Yeah, I would be really good on that show, I think.
Oh, I bet you would. I bet you absolutely
Yeah.
would.
The old guy checking out the young girls, all that kind
Oh,
of stuff.
dude, they'd catch you being the biggest fucking creep. Oh,
Oh, it would be
oh,
bad.
it'd be
Especially
embarrassing.
just
Your family would
everybody just absolutely disown me. But that's what you need.
hey man,
I'd
sometimes the
absolutely
shit
keep
can
it
be for the
real.
better. Hey, there you go. When
Keep it
keeping it
real.
real goes wrong, that's you.
Dave Chappelle.
I think I'm gonna introduce my 16-year-old sons to that show finally.
Yeah, oh, it tremendous.
They love him as a stand-up. They've seen all of his stand-ups, because they're very much into comedy. Like that's their groove, man. They write bits, they work on bits all the time, and they're identical twins, so they work off of each other, and they're fucking funny. But they love Dave Chappelle, but they've never seen the show, so I'm gonna introduce them to that. Um, the
That
last show I introduced them to was Archer, and they've watched it like 5 times now and know like every episode name and all the lines. And
have you introduced them to George Carlin?
yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, of
Oh,
course.
tremendous.
Yeah, Yeah, dude. No, I mean, actually, now that you mention it, though, it's been a while, and I feel like maybe that's something that I need to pull back up. That's something
I love the grievances one. That's like the best, my favorite one at least. I
uh,
saw his last.
seven
I saw
words
him
you can't
live.
say on TV.
That's like way older. But
Absolutely.
the grievances when he's like talking about picking scabs and
Hmm.
people. That one's my favorite. I saw
Yeah.
him live like his last tour, and I was like so pumped to go see it, and then it was really bad. But he was dying, so it was
So was it bad because like he couldn't function?
kind of. It was just like an old guy just standing there telling jokes, and you're expecting like greatness, and
Right.
it was just that. And I saw Artie Lang like 2 weeks later, and I was really pumped for that. But it was nothing like Artie was on the Stern Show. It
Dang.
was just like him walking around being like, "Let's fuck some whores. Your mother's a whore," like that kind of thing. I mean, obviously he was drunk and coked out. So what are you gonna do?
Oh my god, dude. Oh fuck. Oh, that's terrible. I've got a good story about meeting somebody though, because I'm gonna wash that one out. When I met Hacksaw Jim Duggan was probably one of the coolest fucking like shaking a hand to meet a celebrity ever. My buddy and I brought 2x4s, like about this long, like in with us, and we were waiting in the front of the line, and people had like this was at a minor league or a semi-professional baseball game, by the way, like not a minor league team, but like a like below that semi-pro guys that aren't playing in the minors. They get paid very little anyway. And like this dude was so cool. He signed like I have the 2x4 in my office still. He signed it and put ho and like Hall of Fame, blah blah blah. Dude was awesome. His mitts, his hands are fucking gigantic. Like
Yeah,
he is a big motherfucker.
he came to do the local indie here. Like we have two. We have one like Punk wrestled in. Corey Graves was Sterling James Keenan, but then the other one is like it's like older guys, and it's like kind of a clothesline as a finisher, and he came to that one, and it was awesome. Like I was like, okay, we'll get Hacksaw Jim Duggan, but he's like, hey buddy, how are you? Like, what are you into? I was like, I just finished watching you on Legends House. It was such a great time, and he's like starts going into all these Piper stories, and like just a legit great person to meet
Dude, he was so nice. So
and so
nice.
sincere. Like some of
Yes.
these guys are just
Yes.
not.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah, some of the other guys I've met haven't been great, but he was great. And at the time I was supposed to get to see Piper out there, he had to cancel that fucking tour. Like that was the end of his thing too. So fucking Piper, man, that was one I never got to see, and like I wanted to
I
see
never
him.
got to meet him either.
But yeah, I haven't done a lot of that since. I think the last people I got to meet was like TNA back in like I don't know
Where, where,
2010,
where you could
2012.
go to the house show and you had the if you had the belt, you could meet certain people, or they do the thing before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those were fun.
Fuck yeah, they were, dude. The TNA show I went to, we got like a thing added to our ticket, and we got to like it during the intermission. We got to go back into like a little office space, and like they had a couple of dudes out. Oh Kenny, oh my God, Ken Anderson.
Mr. Anderson, he's
Yeah,
another great
Mr.
meet.
Anderson. Yeah, oh, dude, dude, he was awesome. He was fucking awesome. And Bully Ray, like Bully Ray, we got to meet Bully Ray. He was cool as shit.
Really, he was a
Yeah,
dick.
yeah. Oh, I thought. I mean, he. So I had my little twins with me, and he's like, "Are you guys scared to meet me?" And they're like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Oh no, it's okay." Like he was very cool for the kids, which was nice. And then who else? I don't remember who else. Those are the guys that I remember. We were supposed to go down and fucking talk to Samoa Joe after his cage match, but we didn't end up down there. Thoughts on Scott Dean?
AWS, you know what that entails. That'll actually be next week's episode. We're going to do the state of wrestling. And then we're going to do a preview for Elimination Chamber. So that's going to get lumped all into that. We're going to go into TNA, WWE, and AEW pretty thoroughly. We'll do
I was just going to say there's going to be some research involved because there's a lot of things going on right now that honestly, like if we're not coming from an educated point of view, like it's just kind of shitty to talk about because there are some really serious things going on in the world of wrestling right now.
Yeah, Handsy Don Fallis will probably get brought up. But I have a funny Bully Ray story.
Oh, okay.
All right. So I'm a junior in high school, and ECW comes to Pittsburgh. So my buddy gets tickets. We go down, and we made signs. We were like the cool kids. We got there early. We were waiting outside. Doors are probably 7:00. It was like 8:00 on a Friday night show. So they open the door, and the Atlas security guy comes out, and he goes, "Hey, could you get me some cigarettes?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, we can." I was only like 16 at the time. My buddy, luckily, he was older. So we go down. We're scrumming the streets of Pittsburgh for some cigarettes, and so we come back, knock on the door. He just lets us in. Like, it didn't matter if we even had a ticket, I don't think. He lets us in.
Wow.
So we run up. You had to, like, it was at the old David Lawrence Convention Center. So you had to run up, like, all these walkways and ramps. And we got front row seats, like, right on the aisle. So if you have the fan cam, you can see that this is a shoot and it's not some bullshit story. So the Dudley Boys come out. I'm holding up a sign. It says, "I get more ass than Joel Gertner," because he had the whole stud muffin gimmick. Bully Ray, actually, Devon grabs my sign, rips it up. Bully Ray comes right in my face, like this far. Like we were kind of nose to nose. And he starts like, "Motherfucking me, motherfucking this." And you can see my buddy on the cam just laughing because I was pissing myself because at that time we had the whole ECW. They don't give a fuck. You don't know what's going to happen. And September of '98, the Pittsburgh fan cam. If you ever see it,
oh my god,
you will
dude.
See that.
That is fucking. I would have been pissing myself too, man. I would have been dying.
Well, that day, Taz had got arrested for flapping his dick to a tanning salon attendant in Pittsburgh.
I remember that shit.
So Taz never wrestled there. They had that was the first time they were in downtown Pittsburgh because they used to go to Monaca. But Sabu hit a slow kid in the head with a piece of table that he threw into the crowd. So they got kicked from that arena. So, like, we're like, I was 16. I think my buddy was 18. And here we are in downtown Pittsburgh. We live, like, in Ohio, 45 minutes away. We weren't even supposed to be driving there.
Oh, my God, dude.
This wrestler's in my face trying to kill me.
Yeah, you don't want that. I mean, and honestly, he was the type of guy, and you're talking about that time, like, that's the way it was there. Like, and he wasn't afraid to, like, he'd fuck with people in the audience. Like,
dude, they used to cause riots.
Yeah. They were like, those guys.
I remember the one show, he's like, "You taught your daughter how to suck dick." That was like live on pay-per-view.
I mean, they are the guys that pile drived an old woman off of a fucking balcony through tables.
Powerbomb.
Yeah, powerbomb.
Yeah.
Dude,
Man,
I still that time. Fuck. Okay, I don't want to go down that road. That was a great time.
but yeah, the
Not a lot of
wrestling
people made
story.
it out. Not a lot of people made it out of that fucking era very well, though.
No, we lost a lot of those guys, man.
Yeah, and not in
Oh,
great ways either. Not in ways that you even want to talk about. You know, like
no,
it's
like
just yeah.
there's stories of like those guys just all pilled up and falling into their food at restaurants and stuff. Like sad time.
Fuck yeah, man! It was a great era, but it didn't end great for a lot of those
No,
guys. Luckily, when the dust all settled, though, you got a lot of guys that came up that are now old and getting out, and it's weird to see. Um, I think I might save it a little bit for next week because, like you just said, talking about the state of it. But Randy Orton is like kind of a tent pole right now, just kind of waiting to see how much longer he has in him. You know,
yeah. And then
and
you have on the other show you have Jericho, who's got a body like I do, and they throw him out on TV every week shirtless. So
he's okay. Yeah, you're okay. We gotta come up with something else to round this off tonight because wrestling is just
yeah. Oh man.
yep. Anyway, dude. So that's our story. As you
Yeah.
can see, it comes back to wrestling quite often.
Yeah. And it's been doing this for like 10 years.
It's
So
been it's been 10 years, man. Around there, right? Fuck. It's about the same time I started my other company. I'm about to find out. Um, shit, for real. That is 100% correct. I'm gonna give him the clap. Oh wait, what? I didn't mean that. There you go.
yeah, the proof is definitely in the pudding right there. My
Pudding.
goodness.
Anyway, um, fuck. Now I forgot what I was gonna say. Shit. But yeah, the 10 years since I started my other podcasting thing, which I'm gonna be revitalizing here as well on my own little thing that I'm gonna be doing on the side, which I'm really excited about. I'm getting it all launched tomorrow. So that'll be a good time. Yeah.
Yeah, tell the people about your whatnot as well.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I got my little sign here for my brand, Sack Shop, sackshop.io. You can check that out too. My wife and I started um, just kind of doing reselling. We kind of have this idea that it sounds stupid, but we kind of want to be the change that we want to see in the world. And one of the things that we're going to do is instead of, we're trying to get stuff that still has value and get it back to people that will still enjoy it instead of, sending stuff off to the garbage and shit. But that's not, but yeah, so that's what we do. I'm going to be working on, another kind of vodcast thing that I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be writing some letters to people. Like I don't know how to explain it, but just trust me, it's gonna be fucking awesome. Um, but yeah, and then check me out on Whatnot Sack Shop. We do shows coming up on our next schedule. We're gonna be doing shows every Tuesday night. We're gonna be running $2 t-shirts every Tuesday night, and then sports cards every other Friday. And
What about the
collectibles every
Tim?
other Wednesday.
What
What
about the
about my
Tim Tebow?
you like my Tim Tebow? That is in my
Oh,
shop, actually. You can find that on my shop. If you go on Whatnot right now, you can find that in there. All stitched up. This is a beautiful, beautiful jersey. But if you don't have Whatnot, check it out, whatnot.com. It is an app. Sack Shop. check me out.
Yeah, absolutely.
And check out my boy Fulio, My Vintage Life 1904. Thanks for trying to get me there, dude. I've been interrupting you all night. I am so sorry about it.
No, man, you gotta get the plugs in, even though we're not sponsored. We are ready to be sponsored. If anybody wants to sponsor us, come bring it. Box of Awesome. Anybody. We'll take it.
Hey, look at you.
It's all about sustained living, and that's what we're trying to do. And
that
that's
is
what
exactly
we're trying to help you out with.
Fucking A. 100%. 100%.
Yeah. So I guess there's only one more thing to say.
Oh God. Here, what's it going to be this week?
Clear eyes, full hearts.
Can't lose.
Top guys out.